Hi, I'm Ed, and today I'm going to be showing how I added extra storage to my Pioneer 1000-5. This is a 2022 model, and so there's a little bit of a difference between this one and the previous generations. So I'm still using these neat little quick fasteners, so they still bond the same way. So got a little push button, but again, there is a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what that looks like. Okay, so this is my back driver's side door, so I can go ahead and hit my little push button, push, push. I can do all of them. I usually will just do all of but one. I mean, I'll just pivot and swing, and then I have this little cavity here, so I have all kinds of storage space in here. One of the things also to keep in mind, if you you get this all set up, I'll go ahead and show again, obviously the process. And what you're going to do is obviously figure out how big of a hole you're going to go ahead and do, make your initial drill hole points, and then you do like electric jigsaw or something like that, and just go ahead and cut and slice, and then just go ahead and trim the edges. And then the next part is going to be getting your fasteners. Link is going to be in the description below, and getting them all set up. The reason why the 22 is it's a little bit different because the previous models, they have the clips on the plastic. This one does not. So what we're doing is you're taking these guys, and you're basically just bonding it straight into the plastic. Obviously, we're going to be doing some Loctite, and that way they don't back off and anything like that. But there is some minor modification as well to it, because you'll notice on mine here, in order to get this all to line up, I'll pop this other one off as well. Okay, everything is all set on here. All of them are good to go through the existing holes. Okay, but on one of them, I had to make an adjustment because of the curvature of the side plate. They didn't all line up. So this one I had to move just to be able to make that all line up. And now it does line up correctly. So I'm going to show you. I usually start off with the edge point. I usually do the top and then pop, 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 done. That's how easy that is. Okay. So I've got the same thing going for the other side. Go ahead and pop these loose. This one, I didn't make as an aggressive of an adjustment, so this one I kind of struggle with just a wee little bit. And there we go. So here we go. Stock holes. Oh, let me go ahead and get this other one off here. Come on. There we go. Stock holes, and then this one I had to make the adjustment. So same thing, I just had to kind of move it over. This is what maybe 4 or 5 millimeters to the left, in order to be able to get this guy to line up. And then everything else, it's just using the original holes. So there is some amount of slop within the original holes, and then the big pain in the butt was reaching my hand all the way up inside here to be able to get up to this guy, be able to tighten this down. You can augment that by cutting a bigger hole. I just decided it was worth it to have a kind of a smaller hole and keep things less things from rattling out. I keep stuff like a first aid kit, a onboard tool kit, as well as rolls of toilet paper inside of a Ziploc baggie inside here. I think I even have an e-tool inside this guy. So lots of storage room inside the doors, which you also have back door as well. So this one is a little bit easier to do. There was still a modification on one, so I had to slide one guy over in order to be able to get him to line up. But it's underneath the other washer, so you really can't see. But once you have the alignment all set up, then they just pop right into place, and they're pretty invisible. So you can't really tell that they're there, and they're not going to come off without somebody pushing directly on the button. So I'll go ahead and show the drilling on this particular guy and what that looks like, and getting it all set up and everything. So okay, for starting off for this area, what you obviously want to do is you want to go ahead and start off with some basic hole saw points. So I drew out an area where I wanted to go ahead and try to cut up in the corners area, and then I used once I cut the holes, then I used an electric jigsaw to go ahead and cut around the outside. And so here's my end result for my initial hole. So then the next part of this is to go ahead and take say like an X-Acto blade, or maybe even something like sandpaper or something like that. I go ahead and rough off, smooth out these little rough edges. Can make that a little bit easier. But inside here, this is perfect because I can go ahead and store like some water bottles and stuff like that in here. That's obviously at least until I get something else like mount a water, potable water kind of container to the outside or something like that. But for now, storing water in here is a lot better than storing water inside the door here, because storing too much weight in the door causes the door to sag, and then everybody that sits in the back has to lift the door up in order to be able to get it to latch. So it's a bit of a pain when you put too much weight like water inside the door. So water in the back here is perfect. Okay, so here are the fasteners that I'm working with here. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. So obviously the first thing to do is go ahead and pull these out of the package here. So so we have all of our screws and everything like that, and then we have our button right here. So, all right. First part of this is obviously go ahead and get everything all set up so we can go ahead and start putting our screws in, because the difference between the previous models previous years and the 2022s is you could just thread this into the straight into the clips that were already in the frame. You can't really do that on the 2022 models because there are no clips. It's just plastic holes. So you have to get just a little bit more creative. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this up, and let me go ahead and switch cameras and make this a little bit easier to show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is have my thread lock ready to go. First thing here is I'm going to go ahead and take a nut and go ahead and thread it basically all the way to the top on this. Okay. Now, take just a little bit, and right here on that top thread, and then just get enough on here so that way it's like right there at the top of the bite, right? So basically that's just the top limit for this. Okay, so now go ahead and get our washer ready to go. Now I'm not going to thread lock the inside just yet, because I want to make sure that I don't have to back it out for and then like move a hole or anything like that, because I did have to do that on the big doors, so on the rear doors. So on the back side, behind the doors, I'm not sure if this is going to line up, but we're going to go ahead and test that out and see how well that comes out. So I'll get our other nut and our washer ready to go, and then we're going to go inside the air and then go ahead and try, attach all 3 points on the back side, and get ready to see if how it's going to line up with the plastic plate. All right, so just going to go ahead and take this here, take our washer and our nut, and then just slide this in here. Come on, there we go. There's our washer on the back side, and then get our nut going. Okay. All right, I'll do the other ones and see how that fits. Okay, so I have all 3 of my pins here, and I have a plate sitting here. I go ahead and just put it on here. So I have not drilled the holes yet for this, but you can tell basically right now, because of the alignment here, I'm going to have an alignment problem here once I get the push buttons set. So what I can do is I can go ahead and get ready to go ahead and move this one right here just a smidge over. Doesn't move by a whole lot, but that way it's a lot easier to go ahead and just kind of pop it on, pop it off to be able to get access into this. So it's going to obviously sit right about here, but then again, because of the design of this, I might be able to get away with it here, but still probably it's probably going to be a little tight the way that these things usually kind of fit. So I need to move, drill a small little hole to kind of make this a little bigger and slide this guy over, probably maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, Sorry, 3D printing is all in millimeters, so just slide that over just a little bit in order to be able to get that to line up perfectly. All right. All right, so I pulled the screw out that I'm about to make an adjustment on. Put the plate back on here, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Sharpie here and indicate right where I want this guy to go. All right, and then get ready to drill my hole. So I can go as low as a 1/4 inch to kind of get that precision that I need. All right. Should about do it. I wasn't able to drill exactly. I had to do more like a grinding with the drill, but that'll give me right where I need to put the screw, and I can kind of push it into place and then tighten it down. That'll be right where I need it. All right. So now that I have this right where I want it to go, what I can do is I can go ahead and get ready to go ahead and Loctite it. So have it hanging out a little bit. I can go ahead and estimate about where that's going to go. I can go ahead and put a drop on the on here, drop or two, so that way the nut's going to overtake that section, and then it'll lock it down, and then go ahead and slide this right into place right where I need it to go, and then tighten it all the way down. Get my wrench and I'll go ahead and tighten it from the back side. Use a vice grips to hold the front to make sure it doesn't spin on me. So make sure I don't turn the front nut because it already has a Loctite on there. Go ahead and grab this guy and start tightening him on the back side. Okay, so now we're at a point where it's kind of like the point of no return because we have to now drill open up these holes in order to get these guys to attach. Okay, so basically you have to get a drill bit big enough. And then once you do that, the original clips will no longer fit, and then that's it. So make sure you have everything all set and ready to go, and you have obviously all the parts because, yeah. So here we go. First one in. What we do is take our nut off. And then push that in there like that. And then attach that to the back side. And we go ahead and tighten that down as much as we can. So that way it won't move. All right. Do that for the other ones. So when you're working on these, you have to make sure that you get a nice good bite on your threads, so that way the little knobs on here don't wiggle and pop loose or slide around or anything like that. Nothing dumb. On the bigger doors, there's some minor modifications you'll have to make on the little smaller panels. These guys just go right on there, so no extra modifications to the panel necessary to be able to get these to clip. So I'll go ahead and test this out now. All right, so grab this here and top first, clip, clip, and clip. Perfect. Yep. Perfect alignment, not going anywhere. So pop, pop, pop. There we go. Storage for water bottles and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I was able to get one water bottle here on the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So a total of 5 water bottles I was able to fit in here. These are kind of the smaller ones, but still, that's a bunch of water I was able to fit in here for storage for the family and stuff like that. So that way, it's not pulling on the door or anything like that. So perfect little auxiliary storage space. So we'll go probably get some more of these little buttons and do the other side, and add some more storage eventually on the other end. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I have lots of other tutorial videos and everything in the playlists shown here. And happy writing.